Hello history buffs, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're journeying to a corner of America that's small in size, but colossal in its historical impact. We're talking about Connecticut, the Constitution State. From its dense woodlands, home to indigenous peoples for millennia, to its crucial role in the birth of a nation. Connecticut's story is a captivating tapestry of innovation, conflict, and revolutionary ideas. So, grab your tricorn hats, and let's dive into the rich, and sometimes surprising, history of this New England gem. Our journey begins long before the first European sails appeared on the horizon. For over 12,000 years, this land was the ancestral home of several Algonquian-speaking peoples, including the Mohegan Pequot and Quinnipiac. They were sophisticated societies with deep connections to the land and waterways. Imagine bustling villages along the rivers, with people skillfully fishing, hunting in the forests, and cultivating crops like corn, beans, and squash. Their three sisters. Their lives were guided by the seasons, rich oral traditions, and a profound respect for nature. This wasn't an empty wilderness. It was a thriving, populated homeland. A world that was about to change forever. In the early 1600s, the winds of change blew in from across the Atlantic. The first European to make a mark was Dutch explorer Adrian Block, who sailed up the mighty river in 1614. He named it De Rivier, or Fresh River, and recognized its potential for the lucrative fur trade. The Dutch established a small fortified trading post, the House of Hope, near Modan de Hart, aiming to trade with the native peoples for valuable beaver pelts. This Dutch presence was a foothold, an initial European claim in a land that would soon be contested. However, it was the English migrating south from the burgeoning Massachusetts Bay Colony who would truly shape the future of the region. Driven by a desire for more fertile land and greater religious and political freedom, they saw opportunity in the Connecticut River Valley, setting the stage for a clash of cultures and empires. The 1630s marked a pivotal turning. English settlers, led by figures like Thomas Hooker and John Haynes, began arriving in significant numbers. They founded the settlements of Hartford, Wethersfield, and Windsor, forming the Connecticut colony. These colonists weren't just looking for land, they were building a new society based on their own ideals. In 1639, they did something truly revolutionary. They drafted and adopted the Fundamental Orders of Connecticut. This document is often considered the first written constitution in North America, and some argue the world. It established a framework for government with a governor, a legislative assembly, and crucially, it outlined the rights of individuals and derived its authority from the consent of the governed, not from the king. This groundbreaking step earned Connecticut its famous nickname, the Constitution State, and planted a seed of self-governance that would blossom into the American Revolution decades later. But this expansion came at a terrible cost. Tensions between the English settlers and the powerful Pequot tribe escalated dramatically. Disputes over land, resources, and trade control boiled over into the brutal Pequot War of 1636 to 1638. The conflict reached its horrifying climax in the Mystic Massacre, where colonists and their native allies attacked a fortified Pequot village, resulting in the deaths of hundreds of men, women, and children. This event was devastating for the Pequot nation, effectively breaking their power and opening up more land for English settlement. It's a dark and complex chapter in Connecticut's history, a stark reminder of the violent clashes that defined the colonial frontier, and the profound and lasting impact on the region's indigenous peoples, whose world was irrevocably shattered. As the colonies grew, so did their ambition for unity. In 1662, Connecticut's governor, John Winthrop Jr., secured a royal charter from King Charles II. This charter was incredibly liberal for its time. It officially united the Connecticut and New Haven colonies, and, most importantly, granted the colonists an unprecedented degree of self-government, affirming the principles they had already laid out in their fundamental orders. But this autonomy would be challenged. In 1687, Sir Edmund Andros, the royal governor of the Dominion of New England, arrived in Hartford with an armed escort. He demanded the surrender of the charter, intending to revoke Connecticut's special privileges. According to legend, during the heated meeting, the candles were suddenly extinguished, and in the darkness, the charter was spirited away and hidden in the hollow of a massive white oak. Tree, the legendary charter oak, This act of defiance became a powerful symbol of Connecticut's fierce independence and its refusal to bow to tyrannical authority. Fast forward to the 1770s, and the spirit of the Charter Oak was alive and well. Connecticut was a hotbed of patriot sentiment, earning the nickname the Provision State for its critical role in supplying General George Washington's Continental Army. Its farms and workshops churned out food, clothing, and weapons, keeping the revolutionary cause alive. Figures like Governor Jonathan Trumbull were indispensable allies to Washington. And let's not forget Nathan Halley, the young schoolteacher from Coventry who became one of America's first spies. His famous last words before being executed by the British, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country," have become an enduring symbol of American patriotism. Connecticut's delegates, like Roger Sherman, were also instrumental at the Continental Congress, with Sherman being the only person to sign all 4 great state papers of the U.S. the Continental Association, the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, and the Constitution. With independence won, Connecticut continued to punch above its weight. During the Constitutional Convention of 1787, the delegation faced a major deadlock between large states who wanted representation based on population and small states who wanted equal representation. It was Connecticut's Roger Sherman and Oliver Ellsworth who proposed the Connecticut Compromise, also known as the Great Compromise. This brilliant solution created our modern bicameral legislature, the House of Representatives, with representation based on population, and the Senate, where each state gets 2 senators. This compromise saved the convention from collapsing and was essential in forging the United States Constitution. It's a testament to Connecticut's legacy of pragmatic problem solving and its central role in literally shaping the government of the United States. The 19th century saw Connecticut transform from an agrarian society into an industrial powerhouse. The state became a hub of invention and manufacturing, known for its skilled mechanics and ingenious entrepreneurs. Eli Whitney, though not born here, perfected his cotton gin in New Haven and later pioneered the concept of interchangeable parts at his armory. This innovation revolutionized manufacturing worldwide. Samuel Colt's firearms factory in Hartford produced the iconic revolver that won the West. From clocks in Bristol to rubber in Naugatuck and brass in Waterbury, Connecticut's factories supplied the nation and the world. This era of industry, fueled by Yankee ingenuity and waves of immigrant labor, reshaped the state's landscape and economy, creating bustling cities and laying the groundwork for modern American industry. This industrial boom continued into the 20th century, with Connecticut playing a vital role during both world wars. Its factories, like Pratt and Whitney for aircraft engines and Electric Boat and Groton for submarines, became essential parts of the arsenal of democracy. Electric Boat launched the world's first nuclear-powered submarine, the USS Nautilus, in 1954, cementing Connecticut's place at the forefront of naval technology and Cold War defense. The post-war era brought suburban growth and the development of the modern insurance industry in Hartford, which became known as the insurance capital of the world. However, the century also saw the decline of old manufacturing industries, leading to economic challenges and urban renewal efforts, as the state once again began to reinvent itself for a new era. And that brings us to Connecticut of today. It's a state that honors its rich past while looking toward the future. You can walk the same streets as Revolutionary War heroes, visit the shipyard that builds the world's most advanced submarines, and explore world-class universities like Yale. The legacy of the fundamental orders lives on in its robust civic life, and the spirit of Yankee ingenuity continues in fields like bioscience, finance, and advanced manufacturing. From the quiet hills of Litchfield to the vibrant coastline, Connecticut remains a state of contrasts, and resilience a small state with a story that is truly larger than life. Thank you so much for joining us on this historical tour of the Constitution State. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let us know in the comments what state you'd like to see next. Until then, stay curious.